All right, welcome back to the podcast. This is the Ask Mama podcast where you ask Mama your questions and she gives you some answers with some sense behind it. I think it's very important to have in today's society with all of this ridiculous information out here. We got to clean it up. And the only way to do it is with a mama with some sense.
Amen.
All right. So before we get into the questions, however, we're going to do a segment I like to call 5 Minutes of Trash.
All right.
All right. And today we're going to discuss for 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more, I'll just say the P. Diddy situation. Because it is bloomed and it is, you know, at first it was one case, now it's 2 or 3 or maybe more. And I just want to talk about it because I feel like every other week there seems to be another celebrity that has been around forever. We grew up watching them and then finding out this dark side about them and all the people that they manipulated and abused. And it's just, I think it hits a little harder when it's a black person who took advantage of the fact that nobody cares about black people. We're like the perfect targets.
Yeah.
And when a black person takes advantage of the systemic racism that we live in, it's something more evil about that. So I just want to kind of talk about how each of us feel about the P. Diddy situation. Mama?
It's heinous. If these allegations are true, I know this little young man that just put in this recent complaint with the courts. It's like 70-something pages of allegations that he's alleged, and it is just horrific to read it. It's like, what has happened to the mind of some of these people?
Because it's not just S.A. that he's saying happened to him. It's also he was a producer, a writer.
Right.
He wasn't paid for his work on top of being abused. And so it's just like from every angle he was taken advantage of, supposedly.
It's sick. It's like, what in the world is wrong with you to even do such a thing to someone? I mean, I know people are psychos, and, all kind of stuff, narcissists, and all. There's names for all this, but it just never ceases to amaze you. The
Depths.
absolutely.
My God. You know what? I feel like in order to make it to a certain level of stardom, you have to be a certain type of person mentally. I feel like you got to kind of be a little sadistic because I think that's what the game is. I think that's what it calls for. And in order for you to make it to the top, you got to be willing to do anything. So that's a certain type of mindset.
I agree a little bit, but for me, I look at it like, because I am in the industry. But what I've seen, because I've seen these people up close, I've seen P. Diddy up close. And so what I observed is that there is so much power in celebrity. We have given those people just as much power as a president or a big politician. Like, they should not have the amount of power that they do.
Right.
It doesn't make sense because when you just look at it, they're either just producing music or they're head of a label or they're an artist or whatever. They're just doing this job that is exciting to people.
Right.
And it shouldn't warrant the amount of power they have over other people, but it does. And so for me, it's like, because that's a known entity, there are men and women who seek out the entertainment industry as a job because they know that's what comes with it. They target this industry because they know
They want power.
if they get to a certain level, they can use that power to live out their fantasies, which they know
Lord.
are disgusting and despicable. But they also know that nobody says no to a star. And so I feel it is society's fault that celebrities are given all this reign over quote unquote regular people. And I think that if we looked at these people as just people, who do a job that you are entertained by, but at the end of the day, they still need to live under our societal rules.
Right.
And until we demand that of them, this is always going to be an industry full of people like Diddy.
Yeah.
Period.
Always. And look at, just with money and limelight, look at just in the industry. Okay, so that's one prime example. But then we got past presidents.
Right.
We have so
Right.
many people, and we don't hold these people to the same standards.
Right.
We don't hold them accountable. They get a slap on the wrist
They
because they
all
have
look,
money.
They got money.
They all are under the umbrella. Politicians,
Yeah.
I'm putting all of that in entertainment because if it's on the news, that's entertainment too. Like everybody that is on television and on social media, that is a form of celebrity.
It is.
And how the society looks at celebrity is what gives them the power.
It is.
And until we say no more, and I'm speaking even for myself, say I get, more accolades or I, do more in the industry, I still don't want to be treated any differently than anybody else.
Right.
That's right.
I still want to live my life and be a person just like everybody else.
Right.
I don't need to sit above you.
Right.
Right. And so I know that we can have an industry like that because it's one I want. But it's based on society.
Yeah, they put people on pedestals. Church,
Yes.
like you said,
That's celebrity.
everything is under that
That is
umbrella.
under
Yes.
that umbrella
You
too.
need to stop doing that because we're all just people.
Yep.
And God gave some different gifts, but it makes us no better than the other.
There you go. There you go.
But see, that's something you need to teach your kids when they're little. Try at least. Sometimes they still don't get
stick.
it. But you gotta teach them that person, because they're on TV or whatever, they're not better than you,
Right.
and you're not better than them. And if we could grasp that, we wouldn't be doing all this. We wouldn't.
So what do you think is going to happen to him in this case? You think more cases are going to come up? Do you think this young man is going to win his case? What is your final thoughts on it?
I think more cases are going to come up, and I think if they don't settle it out of court like he did the last one, I think it's do you really want all them 72 pages to come out in court? I couldn't imagine. So we'll see what they do, whether they'll settle or go to court. But I think it's not over by a long shot. And for whatever is going on, it's like this is the season of everything you've done in the dark is coming to the light. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. For a lot of people.
It's
Oh,
a
yes.
lot going on out here.
And that fills me with some hope that maybe this will spark our generation and the Gen Zs to look at celebrities differently.
That's
to
right.
look at them the way they are, which is just like everybody
Yeah,
else.
they're
Right.
just people.
Maybe we can get
Right.
there. Maybe this awakening and showing you all of these people that you put up there like they were so great, they're actually terrible human beings.
Right.
They really
Right.
are.
So maybe not look at them like they're gods.
Because they're just people.
Right. So that's our 5 minutes of trash for today, y'all.
Ooh, Lord.
We're going to move on to our next segment that we like to call Spotlight for Black-owned businesses. I'm going to start us off with a business that is local to me. It is in Bronzeville, and it's called, let me make sure I got the address and stuff up. Yeah. So it's called Boxville. And Boxville started out as a way for inner city entrepreneurs to start their business. And they use like the big crates that you see transporting things. They redesigned them into little stores.
Oh, like shipping containers.
Yes, shipping containers, right. And it's called Boxville. And it started with just one box, one shipping container that they redid for a bike repair shop. Then they added on to it, and now it's a bike repair shop. They have another one connected to that one that's a bookstore called The Book Joint. There's another one called, it's a wellness-inspired perfume shop called Stovic. And there's also a custom apparel printing business attached. And finally, they have a bakery attached called By the Pound. Oh. And this whole little box unit is on 330 East 51st Street in Bronzeville, Chicago, Illinois. So check it out, because I thought it was an amazing place, and the way they redesigned these places, it was just so dope. Like, I was like, this is awesome. So we definitely need to encourage them. They have some great stuff in there. The bakery looked amazing. The bookstore is awesome.
Check that out.
Bike repairs, if you need your bike repaired. I know a lot of people ride bikes in Chicago, so make sure you check Boxville out. Yeah.
All right. My black-owned business is Silver Room. They've got clothes, jewelry, books. It's such a nice place. Usually when my little nephews come up here, bless their heart, they're grown men, but they're my babies. We usually always go in this area. It's in Hyde Park at 1506 East 53rd Street. So it is a great place. They've got a little bit of some of everything in there. It is so nice.
All right.
Silver Room.
Okay, so mine is The Book Joint.
Oh, The Book Joint. So you've seen it.
The Book Joint.
Wow.
And it is 330 East 51st Street, number 9. Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, so we got two. You need to check out The Book Joint then,
check
because
it out.
Boxville. It's in this whole thing.
Wow.
That whole thing is called Boxville.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is awesome.
How creative is
Yeah. All right, y'all. So if you live in Chicago, check these places out. If you're visiting Chicago, a lot of people visit in the summer. Summer's coming up. So make sure when you're watching our videos, you take a little note of these black-owned businesses to check out when you're doing the tourist thing in Chicago.
So nice.
All right, now it's time to ask Mama.
All right.
I'm going to start us off with the first question. So this woman she's on a first date. So this was a first date question. The guy asked, "What other guys am I competing with?" And she said, "You're competing with me and the amazing life that I created for myself, not another guy." What do you think about her saying this?
I think she let him know that it's no one else you need to be concerned with but me. And I think that's very confident. I like it. And if he's a smart young man, he will see what she's bringing and he'll show her what he's bringing. I like it.
Yeah. Lamar?
Kudos to her for that statement. I think that is so empowering and confident of her to do that. Stand on your business, girl. I don't know. I think that's kind of a weird question to ask. Because
I think that's why the response was strong.
That would kind of turn me off, I think.
Well, she also said that that was just a first date. She didn't want to come, she continued dating this person.
I think he said that trying to be a little coy with her, like, you're so fantastic. I know I got some competition. I think that's where he was coming from.
That's the old school mentality, y'all. She don't be on. No, that was shade, mama. That was some low key, like,
and very insecure.
Very insecure. Very insecure comment.
Well, let me step my game up because I gotta win this.
How many dudes? It's really what he's saying is how many dudes is you dating?
Mm-hmm. You entertaining?
How many dudes is out here whining that? Who am I up against?
Because
in that tone, that's the tone, not a sweet tone. This ain't no sweet tone. That's why she said. That's why she said she's not dating him anymore. He didn't get a second date.
Oh, she not dating him?
Yeah, she wants to know how we felt about her saying this, but that was just a first date, and that's what he asked her, and she was not having it. No. And this is my opinion on the matter.
Too bad.
This is my opinion on the matter. When she said, it's not about the other dudes, it's just about me. I'm 100% in that camp because I'm really tired of dating and the dude asking these all of these different questions, and it's like, dude, you're not getting it. I love my life. If you don't make it better, there's no need for you.
Right.
If you're not an added bonus to the life that I have built for myself, there's no need for this.
Right.
And I think that men have a lot of men have a problem with not being the hero in some girl's story. They talk a lot about girls growing up looking at these fairy tales. And yes, it's bad for us to be always looking at, Prince Charming coming to the rescue. But boys too.
Yeah.
Like, it's a real problem because I don't need you to save me.
Right.
I don't need a hero. I need a partner.
Yeah.
A partner in crime. Okay? Like an equal partner in what we trying to do to build our lives up.
Right.
That's it. And if you're just looking to save me from myself and save me from my life and save me from, this, that, or third, I don't need that. And so why would I want? That forces me to have to diminish myself. And I think that's why she made the statement she did. And it's why she didn't give this man a second date, because I will not diminish myself for you.
Right. And what difference does it make if I am dating other people? You're on a date with me to get to know me.
Right. It does.
So everybody else outside of that is irrelevant. And dating means that we're not in a committed relationship, and we're not even exclusively dating. So dating means that I can date other people and get to know them, because maybe you might not be the best fit for me. And that's okay.
But men, once again, a lot of guys, they have 20, 30 girls on their phone, but how dare you have 2 or 3 dudes that you're also talking to? And that's that sexism in dating, which is a part of this question. Like, it's all wrapped up in there. It's just like, you're crazy.
I think everybody should know their place. I mean, I don't have to prove to a man that I'm a woman. I think that we don't want to emasculate a guy. And he has his place. I use my mother and father as examples. I mean, my father was the man, period. My mother was not a weak woman, but she knew her place, he knew his place. So it was a union, like a coming together, so to speak.
You're talking about a relationship. This isn't a relationship. We're talking about single people dating. And that's completely different. When you're in a relationship, yes, roles become a big part. But this isn't that conversation. This is just the dating world
The
and the
basics.
sewage of what is going on out here. This is just you. This is a first date.
Yeah.
This is what we're dealing with on a first date. There is no relationship. And still, we have to navigate all of this mess, all of this drama that men and women bring to the table on a first date. Like, why are you so concerned with other people and we're just trying to get to know each other, like you were saying?
Right.
It's that first level. So we can't get to the relationship part.
Right. And to me, I really feel like it's because a lot of people don't know their worth.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know what they bring, really.
Self-esteem,
And
back to
self-esteem,
that.
back to that.
Surely he did more than that. I mean, because a guy, he could have felt like, I know this girl is, wow, she's a great
You
catch.
could feel like that, but that's not what you would say on a date. It's just not. Like, I've never heard anybody. No, I've never had a date say that to me. That is wild.
Yeah.
To bring up, how many other guys you got on the hook.
Like, I gotta
what
compete with.
Not
Whoa,
saying it
that's
like
Like,
that.
specifically, of course, the date probably went down the drain
there.
after that. That's what happened.
just think
there.
it
But
was
still,
more.
it's always more. But the point is, dating right now in 2024,
It's trash.
it's a
I
train
know
wreck.
it is. I know it's trash.
And so you can't even get to the relationship part where you want to even speak on, what you're going to bring to the table, what it's going to be, because I don't think anybody has an issue with that.
Right.
Once they're in a relationship, everything
Right.
is fine.
Right.
I don't see women like, oh, I got to do everything for myself. Nobody's like that when they're in the relationship. It's getting in the relationship. When you have to deal with this kind of nonsense on a first date, it just wipes you out.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. Totally. It just diminishes your hope.
Yeah.
Like, oh man,
And
this again?
I hear you and I feel you and I'm right there with you, but just take yourself, I would say just take your time going out on whatever next date, give yourself a break from the, because we go into date, I know I do, hopeful.
Right.
I never want to go on a date
As you should, yeah.
and not feel hopeful that it might turn into something
Right.
important.
Right.
So if you're not in that mind space, I really reject the idea of dating. Like, if you are just on edge and like don't want to be bothered, that's the wrong time to go on a date.
Right.
Because you have to be open, you have to be
Hopeful,
clear.
yes.
Right.
Your energy needs to be right so he can feel your energy, because it's a exchange of energy.
Yes, it is.
And you can't hide
It
it.
certainly is.
So I would say just take a minute before you get back out there.
Babe, because that one was rough.
Wow, that was wild.
That was.
I wish you would
Okay.
ask me about
Okay,
others.
it would be pretty much over
I
after
wish you would.
I wouldn't care if he
The
asked me
nerve.
or not. Either,
Like, who are you? I don't even know you.
that. The nerve.
You asking me what?
And what is the
And let her
significance?
have asked him
Do you
about
really-
the other women
You
in
are
his
cold.
life.
What
do you
that got
really
to do?
answer something like that?
She did, and I love her answer. Because
Well,
her answer was like,
Boom. To the point.
Yeah,
Shut it down.
yeah. She didn't.
she got him.
Yo, she did.
That was
She
beautiful
got him
what she
together. She
said.
wrapped him like a Christmas present.
With a bow.
All right, Lamar, what's
Okay.
your question?
My question is, getting married is something I've always thought I should do. But now that I'm getting older, I'm not so sure. Is that normal?
I think that is normal. If you've, waited a while, you're in your 30s, I think those feelings come and go. If you meet somebody that checks off the boxes, then I'm sure that thought and stuff will come back. But I think it's normal because you get set in your ways, you get used to kind of being by yourself, not having to answer to anyone about what you're doing, where you're going, when you're coming back. So, that's a lot to give up in a way. Because you get used to that, and that feels normal. And then when you're with somebody and it turns into a relationship, like you all were saying, then you gotta share more yourself and your comings and goings. So, yeah.
Lamar, what you think?
You know, I think there's societal pressures in every aspect of our lives, right? And I think a lot of times we do things because we are told that that's what we should do. But as time goes on, you learn more about yourself and you realize, wait a minute, I like my life like this. Like you were saying, being single and moving to the beat of your own drum is very freeing. It's very free. And when you have been in that freedom for so long, it can, when you get into a relationship with someone, feel like, oh, I'm being confined.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm being controlled. And so I think that you should take as much time, if you're feeling like that, for yourself and love on yourself and live your life for you. And then if you don't want to get married, but you want a long-time companion or whatever the case may be, that's okay. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry about other people's opinions. Do what's the best thing for you in your life.
That's right.
Yeah, I think I've definitely thought about this, on and off, because for me, I've never found anybody that fit the puzzle of my life. Like, that was okay with me traveling, that was okay with the entertainment industry, being a part of that. That's a big thing for a lot of people. And as you get older and you're really, it's hard to think about compromising. What are you going to compromise? And you built this whole life around what you do and who you're around and who you're with, all the things. Because whenever you're dating somebody, whenever you're in any kind of relationship or you try to be serious, there's so many things you have to now think about. Okay, I'm going here, but do you have time off of work? Did you want to come with me? Should I invite you? All of these things. And it's just like this whole other level of commitment that you have to bring to the table. And I don't really see people, even on the other side, willing to do those things. Like, it takes a lot of work to combine lives. And I think people don't really think about that. They just think about the feelings. Like, oh, I really like this guy, or yeah, this is amazing, or I'm in love and this, that. But it takes so much work to combine, to fit those puzzle pieces together. And if you're unwilling to take the time that it really takes to do that, then definitely I would say do not force yourself into a relationship. I could get married next week.
Yeah.
And be miserable, but I could do it.
Yes.
Anybody could. There's always somebody.
Oh, yes.
Who will take you down that aisle.
Yes, they will.
Okay.
Dum, dum, da, dum.
But you do not have to do that to yourself you do not have to do that to yourself just to fit some box that somebody said you got to get married. You got to have 2.5 kids. You got to have a garage. And it's like, what if I don't want a garage?
Right. What if I don't want kids? What if I don't want to get married?
What if I don't want?
You don't have to. That's the beauty of life. If it fits, it fits. Nobody's got to force you. It's your choice in the matter. Period. It's your choice.
But I do agree that even though I may feel like that now, it does take the right person to come into your life.
Right.
And so for me, that's what would have to happen.
That's right.
It would have to be the right person that fits. The puzzle piece that fits. That's
right.
it. And if it's not, just live your life. I think it's important. One thing I've tried to do more of is do things that make me happy. Outside of work, because I work so much. I have to remind myself, do some stuff that you like to do. Make time, make space for yourself so that you're happy while you're single.
That's
and
right.
fulfilled. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like these years are just going by and I ain't got nobody. Like, it doesn't have to have that negative tone over it.
Right.
it's up to you.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
It's
I
up
do
to you.
believe that in order for a relationship, a marriage, or whatever you want to call it, to work, both people have to be willing and able to grow and evolve.
Right.
Because things 10 years ago may not be the same
Right.
in present day. And 10 years down the line later, it may be a little different.
Right.
So,
But if it works, it works. And that's up to you. Only you will know that. So leave yourself open. But be good with you first anyway, because you really should. You shouldn't be looking for somebody to fulfill you. You should already be fulfilled.
All
And then
right.
together you're full.
Let's move on to the next question.
praise God.
The next question is, what are we going to do about how dumb people are now? Most people don't read books or do research, and it makes dating harder because what is there to talk about?
Oh my.
This one right here, this one could have came right out of my
What are
mind
we
and my
gonna
soul.
do about people being dumb?
I'm so sorry, but
Ooh,
this is
we-
right. Because
I really mean if they're already in y'all's age group and dumb, it's the ship has sailed. They dumb.
I'ma just say that like this hit home to me so
sorry.
hard because it's like nobody self-educates anymore. Like whatever they learned for their job
Yep.
or in school when they
Yes.
was training to be whatever, that was it. The end. They not reading books.
Right.
They don't watch the news. They see clips on TikTok and that's about it. So when you get out on a date, I have been on so many dates where it's just like crickets because you don't know nothing.
Right.
So I might bring something up. And I know that I read a lot of books. I know I read a lot of books and I like to research things. I like to know what I'm talking about. I like to debate. I like to use facts for said debate.
Right.
But they don't. So they be talking to you like, well, 99% of people don't. Where is that?
Right.
Where did you get that fact from? Fact check.
Listen.
They just be making stuff up, and it's just like this is not good conversation, yo.
We have dumbed down because if you
Yeah.
look, even in the 60s, you do know all of our leaders were in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those men were absolutely
And women.
brilliant.
Men and women.
So we have dumbed as a whole.
Yeah.
It's
we
a
have
fact.
dumbed
Yes,
down.
it's a
We
fact.
don't read. Those men were brilliant. So it is no excuse for men, women in their 20s and 30s not to educate themselves. And back then, it was harder to get educated than it is now because
Right.
now you can almost Google
Everything.
everything you
all
want to learn.
all the world's knowledge is on your phone.
Yes,
You
it
could
is.
Google it. And you
Speak
could
it
teach
into the phone.
yourself
What
and
is?
Yeah.
become abreast to everything
But
in
that
the world.
that is my point. Self-education is
Right.
gone.
Right.
Oh, that's-
And that is the problem
You
because
are right.
when we were in college, everybody was reading the same books. It was great. Dating
Right.
at that time was
Yeah.
great because we were all still getting educated.
Yes,
but we
right.
were getting educated.
Right.
But after college, it was like it just went down. I was like, what happened here? Everybody stopped self-educating. So and that's not to say everybody. Of course, we're
course,
never
we're
talking
not.
about everybody, but
Absolutely.
people get so sensitive.
As a
But
whole, you're
as
saying.
a whole, majority of us, it is very difficult. Like I have talked to a guy that maybe I really wasn't feeling him like that, but he was smart. So it kind of made me like, shoot, I just want to go out again just to have a good conversation.
Yes.
Because my God.
Yes. Lifelong learning is so very important.
Yeah, and it's like, and this is the thing. I'm going to take it to another place and say that I feel like it's a part of this whole generation that thinks they know everything already. There's so many of us out here that think they know everything.
Yes.
So because if you in your mind you think you the smartest person in the room and you know everything, then that means you will never learn anything else.
Thank you.
And usually that means you're the dumbest person in the room. Because all the smart people, like I'm a smart person. That's why I know I don't know everything.
Right.
That's why I'm constantly researching and reading and learning new things.
Bingo.
Because I know I don't know everything. And I think that is like the root of this. There's so many of us out here that are like, I can't call them all narcissists. We need to find another word, but it's just like a
psychopath.
It's just a self-indulgent idea of yourself that you're just this incredible person that doesn't need further knowledge from your high school diploma.
That's insane.
Or maybe a college degree. Right. But depending on what you went to college for, like I've talked to many people that went to college and, well, I didn't really have a major. So you just took a bunch of electives. So you don't really... You're just all over the place, right? You couldn't even focus enough to get a major, and you want to tell me you smart.
Oh,
God. I can't.
You got to keep learning.
I think
I have to.
It's ego. That's the word I'm looking for.
Definitely ego.
Old as I am, I constantly am learning.
Yeah.
I read, I research, I look at different types of news, overseas news. I mean, you have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have
But
to.
that's what's happening. It's not about... We already know you got to.
Right.
But that's what's happening, and I don't know if we can fix it.
Oh, I hope we
I don't
can.
know which direction it's going because not only do I see it in millennials and us, but also the Gen Zs. You can't tell them nothing
no,
either.
you definitely can't.
They think they know everything.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what's going to happen.
You know, I think that we as a country are facing one of the first of all, racism. Biggest mental health crisis in history.
Having Trump as one of the dumbest human beings ever to walk the earth, be the president of the United States.
Right.
That was it.
Right.
Mental illness.
Mental
racism.
illness.
You said it
That's,
right there.
That's the biggest
because
one.
it is mentally.
You're mentally ill
to walk around with those
with that type of thought process.
Right.
Same thing with I know everything. You can't teach me anything. I don't need to learn anything else.
Fake news.
Right. Fake news. I know everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Another
even
mental health
when you
crisis.
give them
Mental
facts,
health.
like I'm always with the statistics. Like that's my thing, because those are facts.
Numbers
They
don't
have
lie.
been created to let you know what is going on.
right.
That's
That's right.
why you know that black women get paid less than everybody else
That's
because
right.
of the statistics
It's a fact.
of us out here working.
Right. What if you were on a date with someone and they admitted to you that they weren't so well versed in things, but wanted you to educate them in those things? Would that, in the things that they don't know, would that be stimulating to you? Would you want to have more interaction with them?
I mean, if it would depend on if I felt there was a good vibe between us before I knew that. But also it would depend on how they approached it and what that meant. Like if you've never read nothing, if you don't know anything, then we're not going there's nothing for I can't be your teacher.
Right.
I don't have that kind of time. I think for me it probably wouldn't work out because right off the bat, we're not going to have a good conversation. And for me, it's all about the conversation.
Right.
How well we go back and forth is how I determine whether or not to see you again.
Yeah.
Right.
So if we can't go back and forth,
Then that's it.
that's going to be it.
And that doesn't mean they have to have a master's or whatever.
No.
They could be self-taught. You can teach yourself. You can read books. You can become well-versed.
Absolutely.
But I've dated several dudes that only have a high school diploma.
Right.
It matters not. Like
Don't matter.
And if you're smart, you're smart.
Right.
That's true.
And because you don't need school. Let's just make that real
That's
clear.
very true.
All you need is a library.
Right.
You know,
That is
and a
real.
willingness to go.
Right.
And read
Yeah.
and learn.
Yeah.
That's it. So I've never been on. I do not. That's another thing I don't like about, I went to college, got my degree and everything, but I do not like those bougie black people who get their degree and lord it over all of the other black people that didn't go to college like they're better than them.
That's
And
outrageous.
they, and then they start talking about their fraternities and this whole thing, and it's this division.
Elitism.
And I hate it.
I don't
And
like
I mean,
it
I
either.
despise it because I know that you could go to. I've spoken to people who went to Harvard or one of our HBCUs or
Right.
whatever. Dumb.
As a brick.
Dumb.
Yes.
So I don't care nothing about that.
Yeah.
What you did in school makes you smart.
That's
what
right.
you didn't do makes you dumb. So don't come to me with the little piece of paper that your parents paid for. Okay?
And the scenario where the guy is asking somebody to help them become more well-versed, you must be lazy. Because that's not something you have to ask on a day. You should have enough initiative in yourself to go and teach yourself.
The information is free.
It's right
It's free.
there.
And it's right
I mean,
there.
what is she going to do?
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody should hold your hand because that tells me you are lazy and you're not, you have no initiative, no incentive to better yourself or to make yourself knowledgeable, because knowledge is to be shared. If I learn something, then I can share it with you and you. And then you can go down that rabbit hole and
learn
find some
more.
other stuff and bring it even back. Did you know this? So it's a reciprocated thing that we do. But you have to have it in you, I believe, to want to be that.
All right, Lamar, let's get to the next question.
Okay.
All right.
So, the next question is, I always seem to date guys with addiction issues. What do you think that means?
Well, I know most people say you attract what you are. I don't believe that in every aspect because I have attracted some of the most horrific human beings that I've ever known. So, and I'm not that way. So that can't be true. I just think that might mean you attracted, I'm sure everybody that person attract is in a addiction.
Right.
An addictive,
An addictive
person. But if that's the case, once you find out, addiction is a illness. First of all, it's sickness. So I'd be prayerful with the situation, but I personally can't be involved with alcoholic or drug addiction because I don't partake in those things. So I don't understand how you got there, and I wouldn't want to be involved in that type of situation. But I do not think it's you attracted that addict because you're an addict. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't make sense. When I thought about that because people always say it. You attract who you are. But not in every aspect. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, I could have an addiction personality to food or sweets or something I shouldn't be doing. It doesn't have to be alcohol or drugs. But I can't deal with addiction like that. I can point you to who can help you. You know what I'm saying? But I can't be in a relationship with that because I'm not a partaker.
Well, I think that, first of all, the idea of, why this person is thinking they're attracting these addicted people, you need to flip it. Addictive people seek out people who are not addicted, people who got their stuff together. They think that if they're with somebody clean, that it might help them stay clean, or it might help them, hide what they're doing or whatever. So it's not really you, it's them. They seek out out people who have their lives together,
Right.
because they don't. And for whatever reason, they want to attach themselves to someone better than who they think they are. And so that's why you're coming upon these people. And also, there are a lot of people struggling with, a lot more people actually struggling with addiction these days because of all of the drugs that have been given to people by doctors
Physicians,
for pain
Absolutely.
and pain and for other mental illnesses that have side effects, and then you get hooked on something.
That's
and
right.
you dislocate your shoulder and your whole life goes down the drain.
Right.
Now you
So
are.
so
Absolutely.
it's so many more people that are addicted that you can't really look at it like it's, why am I attracting these
Right.
people? They're seeking you out, first of all.
Right.
And second of all, there's a lot more out here than it used to be.
It's a lot.
And so the idea that you're not going to end up dating somebody that's addicted is nil to none.
Yeah.
Like, I've dated somebody that I didn't know at the time they were, but I found out pretty quick and was like, yikes,
Yeah.
I got to go.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't think you should feel bad about not wanting to continue.
Right.
Because they're a danger to you. Yes,
Yeah,
they're
I
going
don't-
through something and it's rough. I would pray for them, send my prayers out to them.
There you
But
go.
I'm not putting my life on the line for somebody.
Exactly.
Not doing it.
Exactly.
Unless they my child.
Exactly. And in that same vein, I want to piggyback onto that and say, as an empathic person, it's hard for you not to take that on and feel guilty about saying no. I don't want to be involved.
Yeah, but don't-
But you have to
you
for
don't
your
feel-
own well-being,
Absolutely.
because they'll end up making you spiral. And
Yeah.
it might not be in the vein of an addiction, but it might be mentally. You're
Right.
trying to help this person along, and
Money,
you like
they gonna
money,
steal from you.
resources.
You gonna have to go bail them out.
Right, which you
all
got-
kind
yeah.
of stuff you got to do.
Bingo.
Don't you feel guilty?
Bingo.
I know where they can get help.
Right. And
You
you can
can
point
direct
them.
them.
You
and
see?
you can point them
Yeah.
in that
There you-
direction.
now-
But
point
they
you.
cannot. And first of all, somebody with a real addiction should not be dating.
Right.
So that's another reason
Right.
why you shouldn't feel bad
Shouldn't be
about it.
dating.
Right.
Because they need to just focus on getting help. It's the people who are like married and addicted.
Yeah.
Okay, but you gotta go. That's why they go to rehab. You
Right.
leave the house because you all messed up, and you don't want to bring that home.
Right.
So that person needs to go to rehab, away from society, get their life in order, then come back.
Right.
Now, if they're clean and they, do all their steps and stuff, and then they reach out to you again, that's your choice if you want to do that with them. But they're always going to be
An addict.
an addict.
Yes.
That's the thing that they learn. So you're still taking that risk, but you can take it if you feel like they've cleaned up their lives. I don't see a problem with that. I believe in second chances.
Me too.
Oh, yeah,
You
for
can
sure,
have a second
for
chance.
sure.
But they knew when they came to you, they was an addict.
Oh, yeah.
Sure
This
did.
This ain't no
Oh, yeah.
surprise.
Sure did.
I'm the
Oh,
one
yeah.
surprised.
Right.
Right.
Not you. So you gonna get you some help or you gonna get on, baby.
All right,
Ooh.
y'all. That
Praise
was
the
that was the questions for the week. We're gonna move on
That was quick.
to movies and TV. What's your selection? What's your recommendation
For what? Movie?
for a movie or television show?
A movie. Do you know? Okay, I'm gonna have to do this at the top of my head.
We can come back to you, Ma.
Okay, come back.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm Lamar. Go ahead. What's your movie?
All right, so my movie is a documentary. It is called Brother Outsider, The Life of Bayard Rustin.
Oh.
So there's a movie, an
Biographical.
autobiographical, thank you, movie about Bayard Rustin.
Yeah.
But they also did a documentary about him years ago in like 2003.
Oh, okay.
And it's really in depth, and it gives you a lot of information about his life and what he accomplished. So
Wow. Okay.
check it out.
And
It's on
what's-
Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
All
Okay.
right.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're next.
Go ahead, Ma.
The Equalizer
Oh.
with Queen Latifah. Ladies first. Ladies First?
The TV show. Not to be confused with the movie.
Oh.
The TV
With
show.
Denzel.
It is so
The TV show.
good. She is so good in this.
Wow.
Called The Equalizer.
Okay, and
Love
where did
it.
you watch it?
Oh, Paramount Plus, I believe.
Paramount Plus.
Paramount
All
Plus.
right. That's
Yeah, I
it.
think that's
yeah,
it.
that's it.
If that isn't it, Google
It's
it.
Paramount Plus, y'all. It's Paramount Plus.
Love it.
Okay, for me, I decided to do a movie. This movie was just added to Netflix. It's one of my favorite films ever. It's a Denzel movie. The Great Debaters is now on Netflix.
I love
If you have not seen it, I suggest you sit back and watch this film. It's a great film. It's Denzel actually directed it and starred in it. The cast is incredible. It's just from top to bottom one of the best films
So good.
that I've ever seen, and it's
Love it.
yeah, it's just one of my favorites. So make sure you go see that because it just got added to Netflix.
Oh, that's so
excited.
nice.
Okay, let's do books.
Okay.
I'll start us off with the books. My book is called Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. If you
Good.
read books and you have not read this book,
My
you
God.
need to read this book. If you're getting into reading, you need to read this book. This should be like on the top of your list of books to read. It should be the top of every list in school for you
It
to read. It's just an
should.
incredible story. It's an incredible, I'm not going to tell you about it. You need to read it for yourself. Just have that experience of reading it for the first time. I wish I could have it again.
It's
But it's one of my favorite books ever written.
great
Yeah.
book. My book is called Queen of the Blues, the biography of the one and only Dinah Washington.
All right.
That's right.
Classy.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'ma check
what
that
a
out.
life. This woman was married 7 times.
Wow.
What a difference a day made.
Hey.
Oh, that's her song.
Yes,
I like that song.
That's why she did it, because she had all these dudes.
She only had 24 little hours. Your time is up.
What a difference a day
The
made.
day was different because it was a different dude.
That's right.
Bless your heart, Dinah.
All right, Lamar, what's your
Bless
book recommendation?
Yes.
Okay, so my book is Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier. It is an urban
Yes.
story.
Yeah.
And it's a really good book, y'all. Y'all should read it and
Oh,
check it out. Sister
right.
Soldier is a dynamic sister, by the way.
Yeah.
Love her.
These are some good recommendations
These
this
are
week,
some
y'all.
good
Y'all better
ones.
be taking these notes.
That's right.
All right, let's do music, the last one. For me, this week, I've been jamming Kehlani.
Ooh.
Gotta take it back a little bit. This is a song called Keep On from the Sweet Sexy Savage album. It's a jam. If you need to throw something on your gym playlist or your playlist for just rocking out in the car, check Kehlani out. It's called Keep On. Yeah.
Love her.
All right.
Mama, what's your
I've
recommendation?
been listening to my old school girl, Denise Williams.
All right.
And I've just got to be free.
Oh, dog.
All right.
Oh,
Yes.
I love that song. I love. Hey.
And I just got to be free.
Hey. All right. Yes. Okay, Lamar.
Okay.
What's yours?
Mine is Ariana Grande.
Okay.
She has a new song called Yes and.
All
Okay.
And baby, when I tell you, just like your song, if you want to
Yeah.
vibe out and go to the gym and do some squats,
All right now.
Yeah.
turn that on. That's
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
check
you in the
that
mood.
one out. I'm gonna check that.
Ariana
She got
Grande.
some bops. All right.
Oh,
She
yeah.
got some
She
bops.
sure do.
All right
She
now.
sure does.
I appreciate it.
Ooh, these are some nice.
So we gave y'all some really good recommendations. So you know what y'all need to do for us? You need to like this video if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel to see the next episode. Ask Mama Podcast is every Wednesday. If you're listening on Spotify, same thing, every Wednesday. Give us 5 stars for this episode.
All right.
Keep it moving. If you want to ask Mama a question, follow us on Ask Mama Podcast on Instagram or TikTok and DM us your question, and we will add it to the list for our next episode. We really hope you guys enjoyed it. We are loving bringing these episodes to you. So we're going to stay consistent, and we hope you guys are enjoying it. And if you are enjoying it, leave us a comment. Let us know what you like about the show. We want to hear from you guys, and we hope that this is blessing somebody as much as it's blessing us.
I hope so.
Because I really enjoy this.
Me too.
Okay, so we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Peace.